We are just days away from April, which means days away from starting our next Rough Draft Challenge. So, if you want to hear more about what it is, how to set your goals, and how to participate, just keep watching and come right with us. Whew, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Heart Breathings. Last week was such a whirlwind going to New Orleans. Thank you to everyone who joined me at our first ever in-person HeartyCon. It was incredible. But today's focus is not going to be that event. It's going to be on the event that is coming up, which everyone can participate in. Rough Draft Challenge. This is a challenge really to give yourself permission to set a writing goal or a creative project goal and then make it a priority. So you set the goalpost, you decide what your goals are, and then we get together in community and we write together and we cheer each other on, and hopefully we make real progress in our works in progress. You do not actually have to be a writer to participate. You can write blog posts, you can create videos, you can create paintings, really anything that you want to do that's creative work. Even if it's you're working on your dissertation and you need to get through a certain number of articles or research, let's do it. Use this as a community to lean on so you can focus. We all need a little bit of that right now, and I'm excited to participate. So we did our very first ever Rough Draft Challenge in November of 2024. And for many of us, it was a great success. Some of us ended up with pneumonia. That was me, and couldn't quite follow through. But I am excited for this fresh start, and I hope that you are too. So basically, Rough Draft Challenge is a monthly challenge. We aren't so far doing it every single month, but we're doing it hopefully a few times a year. So November for sure, April, and we'll see if we can squeeze one in the summer or early fall together as well. And basically, you get to set your own goal. So back in the days when I was doing NaNoWriMo every year, it was something that sort of trained us to believe that 50K was the goal. And if you couldn't write almost 2,000 words a day, you weren't winning. And no matter how much we sort of worked on our mindset around the term winning, it still was that sort of line in the sand of like, to win, you need 50K. But I always thought, for some people at some stages in life, 50K is just not even possible. And I watched a lot of my friends completely burn out, push themselves past a breaking point just to hit this arbitrary number. Like for many of us, 50K isn't a novel anyway, right? 90K, my latest book is 120,000 words. It took me a lot longer than a single month to draft that. But for some people, maybe your book is only 40K and you don't even need 50. And I think creating a challenge that allows us to meet ourselves where we are, that is a little bit of a stretch outside what we normally do so that it does kind of become a focus tool to get to work, but that doesn't push us so hard that it hurts our mental health, makes us burn out. A lot of people in these challenges would push themselves day and night to get it done. And then as soon as November was over, they wouldn't touch a book for 6 months. So if you have done writing challenges in the past and found yourself either burning out and not able to write, never going back to that draft so that you have like 10 drafts sitting there that never got edited because you were so tired of it, or you set that 50K challenge every year and you just realized a couple days in or a few weeks in that it wasn't sustainable for you, this is a challenge for you that I think you can really get behind. So what are the rules? There are no specific rules. And let's be clear, this is just a community-led free challenge. No one is going to be asking you to upload your manuscript or to prove your words. It's all on the honor system. You set a goal, you determine whether you've hit it. You can use whatever kinds of words. You can use drafting words, brainstorming words. You can use words you wrote on a napkin. It doesn't really matter. But you do need to set a goal, and you can do this anywhere, or you can come to the Rough Draft Challenge website to set it with the community. So the basic rules are, instead of a 50,000 word goal that everyone's reaching toward, we have tiers, and we have an extra tier this time. So the first tier is Emerald, which is 10,000 words. Tier 2 is Sapphire for 25K. 50K is the Ruby tier. 75K, which is our new one, is the Citrine tier, and 100K is the Amethyst tier. Then for anyone who is not setting a word count goal, is doing edits or chapters, or you'd rather do hours or minutes, or you're working on paintings or blog posts or musical scores, whatever it is, you can join the Diamond Challenge, which is kind of a create your own challenge. Now, if you are somewhere in between, like you're setting a 30,000 goal, which isn't quite to Ruby, but is more than Sapphire, you can choose. You can either set a Diamond goal and say it's 30K, or you can just aim for the Sapphire and keep writing once you hit 25. Totally up to you. Another piece of the rule that's different from previous challenges is that you can change your goal at any time, even the very last day of the challenge. So if you set a goal for 50K and you're halfway through the month and you're only at 10, just change it to 25. And it's not cheating, no matter how much past things have taught us to sort of judge ourselves. It's just being more realistic as you go. And that's the way everything is in life. It's like, it doesn't really matter if you write the 50K in the month of April or if some of it gets written in May. It's really okay to just set a challenge that feels good and sustainable. So those are the tiers. The diamond tier is just create your own challenge. What I'm going to walk you through right now is I'm going to walk you through how to join the Rough Draft Challenge website and then how to create a book cover in Canva and all the little things. Now, when it comes to the website, I want you to keep in mind that my husband, George, has his plate completely full, and yet he has taken some extra time to create this website for us. It is a little better than it was in November, but it's still not going to be perfect or ideal, but it is minimal, which makes it really easy and simple to use. So I'll point out some of the changes. You don't have to even sign up if you don't want to. We're not going to email you or spam you or check your data. We're just giving you a space to check your progress. The website is roughdraftchallenge.com. If you joined in November, your sign in will still work, but your November project will not be showing up on the website. The data is still there. So if you want it, you can look in the description box of this video and I'll give you another link where the data is stored if you want to see that old project. But in order to revamp it, we had to reset it. So I'm going to sign in with my email here and you'll see a little bit of a new interface. It says projects and get started with your first challenge by clicking the new button. So click new. You have two options here, this month, which is March as I'm recording it, or next month, which is April. So the way that this view will work is you can have one project per month, single project, a different project every month. So what that means is if I start something here in May, or if I start a project here in March, then that project is technically over on the website on April 1st. And I would need to start a new project each month, but they'll all show up here on the homepage. So when I'm prepping for the Rough Draft Challenge in April, I'm going to go down here and say next month. If it's already April, you'll choose this month. Or if you're setting a goal for May, you'll choose next month. So those are your only two options. You can't set a project for next November. You can't go back and add a project from the past right now. This may change in the future, but for now, this is the next iteration. And this is really an iterative process. It's a little better this time. Maybe it'll be a little better next time. So name is not your name. It's the name of your book or project. So I'm going to put in A Mirror of Shadows. Now, if you know you're working on the same project multiple months in a row, you could put like April out beside it so that later when it's showing the projects, you'll see which version of this project it was. Then we have the goal. This needs to be a number and it doesn't need to have any commas or dots or anything like that. So let's say you wanted to do 120 minutes, you would put 120. If you wanted to do 25,000 words, you would put in 25,000 and down here where it says tier, it's going to auto-populate the closest tier to that goal. So I put in 25K, it auto-selects the Sapphire tier. If I put in 50K, it's going to auto-select the Ruby tier. Let's go back. So that is kind of what we have here. Now it does have an auto placeholder that just says Rough Draft Challenge for your cover, but I'm going to show you how to make a cover and upload it. Also in the description, I have some basic covers that say Ruby, Sapphire, that have some quotes on them. They're the same ones I used back in November. But if you want to use those placeholder ones, you just copy the link and paste it in the cover URL. So we are not hosting images for you. So that means that you can't upload an image. You just need to find and host an image at an image hosting place or your own website or something like that. So I'm just going to give you one option, but let's go ahead and create a cover first. So canva.com, which I've linked for you down below, has free tools. All you have to do is make an account. It's totally free. Click create a design and then type in the word book cover in the search, and it will tell you some book cover sizes. So you just click one of them. Once you have your book cover here, you will see this part on the left that says design. When you see that, you'll look, it just refreshed on me. See where it says design? If you scroll down, you will see dozens of templates for different book cover designs. So you can find one that you like that seems like your genre. You can probably search it. Like if you were looking for horror, some ones that are horror might come up, or if you were looking for romance, some romance ones might come up, or fantasy. And you can just search through the templates. Now, if the image has a little crown that says pro, that means you have to be a paying member of their pro program to use it. But if it doesn't, like this one, then you can just use it. So you click on it. Once you've clicked on it, there will also be some other similar covers that are down here. That it brought up because it's like, if you like this one, you might like this one. So you might be like, oh, I'm writing romantasy. Let me pick this one instead. So you can kind of play around with it. But once you find a template that you like, then you can just go into it and change it. So this one has a brown background. I could make it a purple background instead. All of these little gold things here, I could make those pink and then just click change all. And then we've got this crown here. If I wanted a different kind of crown, I don't think I can change the color on that. I don't know. Oh my gosh, you can change the color of the crown. That is cool. So let's make it a pink crown. Then I can come in and change the text or the font if I wanted to. And then down here, instead of by Claudia Wilson, I can put my own name. And then I've got a book cover. This is not the greatest book cover in the world, but Canva makes it really easy. You just pick the template you like, you adjust the pieces and the elements that you can adjust, and then you click share, download. And then mine is defaulting to PDF. So I'm going to change it to PNG. And I'm going to download this image and I'm going to title it A Mirror of Shadows. So that's how easy it can be to create your book cover. So now, in order to show or to have that image show up on the Rough Draft Challenge website, you have to host it somewhere. So you have to upload it somewhere that will allow you to host that image. And so I'm going to show you real quick one good option for this. So if you go to imgbb, imgbb, I have it linked for you in the description. There's also going to be, George and I are going to add at the bottom of the page like a help or support link that will have all these instructions written. So if I'm going too fast, just check that. It'll be coming in the next few days. imgbb is an image hosting service. It's totally free. They do have these packages that you can pay for, but you don't have to set an account or anything. You just click start uploading, pick out the cover that you just made, click open, and it's going to upload. Now, you can choose, do you want, for privacy reasons, for them to delete this image after any certain number of time? I'm going to say don't auto delete, and I'm going to click upload. So it will take however long it takes to upload. Now you will see this viewer link or an embed link or something like that. That is not what we want. So instead of using, like if I use this link over here, it's just going to give me a broken link. I'll show you kind of what I mean. So if I use this link and click update project, it's going to look like this with like a little broken image. And even if I click load image, it's not going to do it because our site is not going to embed images for you. It would cost us money. And since we're doing this for free, you just got to find a different image host. So instead, what I want you to do is click on the image and it's going to bring it up full screen. And again, I want you to right click on the image and then go to copy image address. That's the link that we want to go back, click edit project and paste it in. And if you've done it right, then the end of the image will be either .png or .jpeg. Now, when I click update project, you're going to see that image is now showing up as my book cover. So again, you open the image, you upload it, tell it whether you want it to delete. You click on the image. Once it's full screen, you click right click, copy image address, and then paste that link over to the course website. So now that we have our goal and our image and everything else, the site itself that tracks looks very similar to what it looked like before. You have the name of your project, you have your goal for the month with a little bit of math here that tells you what your goal should be each day, and then how much you have remaining so far in the month to hit your goal. Because I haven't written anything yet, it's not the first, it's still at 50,000. Here we have a progress bar for how much of my percentage I've done so far. When this updates later, you'll see that this first zero will become my progress so far, and then my percentage so far. You've got this little green line and a black line. The green line down here at the bottom tells you how many words you have total for the month. And then the goal line is your goal divided by 30. So it's always going to be this diagonal line is the black line. On the left axis, you'll see your goal. So if you had a goal of 120, that would be here. If you had a goal of 200,000 words, it'll go up to 200,000. And then the bottom axis is the number of days in this month. So April, it's 30. May, it'll say 31. So once you are ready to start writing on April 1st, you'll click Update Words. And here you've got a drop down under date. It's going to auto default to the date we are at. Since we haven't started the month yet, it's going to default to the 1st. But let's say it's April 1st. I just wrote 1,220 words. I would say 1,220 and click Save. That is going to update my graph down here to say now I have 1,220 words. And my goal was 1,666. So I'm a little bit shy down here of the goal itself. Now you can see that this has also updated and I'm 2.4% into the work. Now let's say it's the 2nd and I'm going to go down to the 2 and I've written, let's say, another 800 words. What was happening in November is a lot of people then would say on the 2nd, I wrote 800 words and they would save that. But that is not actually how the graph works because you can see here that it's deleting words. So what you want to do when you're putting your total words in is the total words for your entire project for the month. This is your cumulative total for the month. So if I wrote 1,220 words on day 1 and 800 words on day 2, I add those together to give me 2,020 words. So on day 2, instead of putting in the 800 words I wrote today, I put in the 2,020 words I've written so far and click Save. Now you'll see I'm still under my goal, but you can see that 2,000 is reflected. Then on day 3, if I write 300 more words, I'll go to day 3 and I'll add 300 to my total. So it'll be 2,320. Click Save. So what you want to put each day is not the total for the day. You want to say, what is today and how many words do I have cumulatively for the entire month added together? Now, I know it would be great to be able to see it every single day, once at a time, but that takes a little bit more programming work. So if you want to see it, leave that feedback and we'll add it for later. But for now, the progress that you see and the number you put in when you update your words is the total cumulatively. So if you get to day 10 and you've written an additional 2,700 words, then we're going to be at 5,000. 5,020 words, I think, if I did it right. So you want to keep adding every day, adding. Now, let's say on day, let's say day 16, I forgot that. And I actually just put in 300 words instead of my total. You can see here that the total number of words dipped. And it's like, oh no, I didn't want to do that. Well, there's nowhere to go in and actually change that entry. So what you can do is either go to day 16 and just add it all together. So this might be 6,000 instead. So you can just change that. So now it's reflecting the new number. Or if you aren't ready for day 16 and you put in the wrong letter, you can come in here, or the wrong number. You can just come in here and click 0, and that's going to delete your entry for the day. So now we're back to the 10th. What happened some last time is people accidentally went to update their words and they chose the wrong day. Like I accidentally chose the 18th and they put 100 words. And then when they went out to their graph, they've got 100 words on the 18th, but it's only the 3rd. So all you have to do in that case is go back and select the day you accidentally put in and then give it a 0, use 0 to remove the entry for this day. And now it's gone entirely. I know it's not 100% perfect, but it's free. And George has spent a lot of time on it and I'm super, super appreciative. What I also love about this is that it's very minimal and clear. There's not a lot of like extra things to click around on. It's just, here's my word count, here's my goal. And you can see as I update it, it's going to give me a new percentage. That's like so many numbers. I'll probably have him change that percentage so it just shows us like the 10% or whatever. Like round it up. but it will show you, okay, here's my daily goal and here's how many words I have left to go so far in the month. And I think that that's really all we need. If you are a little bit into the project and you're like, okay, I'm not going to hit 50K, you just come in here and put a new goal in, and it's going to auto update to your new goal and click update project. And over here, you'll see in all of these spaces where you have your goal, you'll see new numbers. And I think that this will be super good, super cool. So make your own cover or use mine. You can find the links below. Use imgbb to upload your image. And then once it's in full screen, right click and click copy image. And that's basically the majority of the information. If you want a free copy of the Rough Draft Challenge planner, I will link the video where I did a flip through of that back in October, as well as the one I just recently did. It will help you set your goals. It's going to help you plot your book. You can get that for free just by signing up for my newsletter. So if you are already on my newsletter, I sent you a link to remind you where to find it today. If you are not on my newsletter, you can sign up. And after you've confirmed your email, I will send you a link to access this resource library. Once you're in, you get access to all of these different PDFs. You should be able to just right click on it over here and click download, or you can select it and click download up here, and it will download that resource for you. The Rough Draft Challenge is up here at the top in these workbooks, and you can just click Rough Draft Challenge and you'll see an April mixed version and an April Monday start version. The only difference between these two is that the mixed version has Sunday start weeks instead of Monday. But you can find the different tiers here, all the different rules. There's a lot of prep stuff here about how to outline your book and set rewards. And then there's a daily planner. So I encourage you, if you are not on my newsletter list, to go grab it. And then you'll have access to this and all the resources that I make for you in the future. So what do you think? We are going to have so much fun. I am really hoping that you enjoy the website. Like I said, I'm going to make a new sort of like at the bottom of the website. Let me pull it up again. I will show you. At the bottom of the website, I'm going to just add a link down here that says something like help, or it might, I don't know where it will appear on the page. George will add it for us, but look for a help document, and it will just be a page that sort of explains, what do you do if you messed up your word count? What do you do if you need to start over? What do you do if you can't get your image to work, et cetera, et cetera. And if there are features that are not here yet, feel free to email support@heartbreathings.com, which George is monitoring for me, and let us know. It would be great if we could add this, or it'd be nice if we could add this. If you want to go back to the main projects page, by the way, you just click the word projects, and here you'll be able to see, okay, my April project, I got this far before I had to stop. Then your May project, you would click new project and click a May project. Now, right now, if I tried to go in and create another April project, it's just going to give me a message that I already have one project for April. So only one project per month. If you want to work on multiple projects, then either use a second email address and start two accounts, or combine them into one goal. So for example, if I have a Mirror of Shadows, but I was also working on book 12 and I had 50,000 words in this book and 10,000 word goal in this other book, I would just start a project that's called Shadow Demons World and have it be 50 plus 10 and 60K is my goal. So it's both projects tracked in the same goal. You can do it either way. But right now, one project per month. And once this month is over, if I want to track in May and do another Rough Draft Challenge, I'll have to start a new project. Once April is started, I can make a May project. Once May is here, you can make a June project, and so on. And eventually all of these projects will show up here. And I think that covers everything. I am so excited personally for working on this story. I originally was setting a goal for myself of 25,000 words, but I'm going to go for the 50. My real goal for this month is I want to finish A Mirror of Shadows. So this is book 1 in my new series that's a spinoff of the Shadow Demon saga. I'm also working on book 12, but my main goal for April is I want to finish this book. And I don't know if it's feasible, but I'm going to try. So I'm going to share that process with you. If you're not subscribed here, go ahead and subscribe. You can follow the journey. I'll be cheering you on. If you want people cheering you on every single day, you want accountability, you want partners, you want to hang out in the Heart Breathings writing community, we have sprints, meaning people that go live all the time, every day. There's at least 1 or 2 sprints every single day of the week. And then we do run Double Down Day, which will be coming up on I don't know, April 5th, I believe. And we also have virtual writing retreat sometimes in the months. Which month are we doing it this time? I think it'll be here in April. So virtual writing retreats, the third weekend of the month at the first of every quarter. So we do special events, we hang out. It's great for body doubling. It's great for just setting it on your calendar. We do have a Google Calendar of all the sprints. They don't take place on my channel. They take place all over the YouTube. So I will leave our Google Calendar in the description. So in the description, you're going to find the placeholder images, the image link to Canva to make your own image, imgbb, where you can host your image, Rough Draft Challenge website, how to sign up for my newsletter, as well as the Google Calendar for the Heart Breathings writing community. I also have a Discord channel and a Facebook group if you want to come join either of those to help run sprints and have accountability and all the fun stuff. And I will be vlogging my process of writing this book, which is going to be a serialized novel that I will read live on my Sarra Cannon YouTube channel. Oh my gosh, it's a lot. It's a lot. But it feels good to be making my writing a priority. And that's really kind of the point. So if you want to make your writing a priority too, let's go. Let's do this. I'm ready. Let me know in the comments what you're working on, what your goal is, which tier you're going to join. I'm also going to create some t-shirts for the different tiers. So if you have any ideas of what to put on them, that would be really fun. I've seen people do stuff like future best-selling author and stuff, but like some of us already are best-selling authors. And I think we should claim it, not for the future, but for right now. So I don't know. If you have ideas for cool merch, let me know. Also, one more thing before we go is my friend Jennifer Hilt interviewed me for an event that she's doing next weekend called TropeCon. If you don't know Jennifer Hilt, I highly recommend getting to know her work. She is basically the trope queen. So when we talk about tropes and themes and universal fantasies and things like enemies to lovers, small town romance, the chosen one, secret baby, all of those kind of tropes that show up across all genres have them. That is part of what creates a shared language between us as writers and the readers who read our books, because there are so many millions of books for readers to choose from that it becomes, like I said, a shared language where I can say to my readers, oh, this is going to be a portal fantasy with a slow burn enemies to lovers romance as a subplot. Readers understand what that means. Whereas I would think 10 years ago, I don't think they all did understand that, but things are changing. And so it can be really important to understand your own genre and what you're writing. And one of the best ways to do that is to read Jennifer's books, but also to attend TropeCon. These are pre-recorded interviews. There's going to be some live Q&As. There's going to be a Facebook group. I think it's $79, which is an incredible value. I did an interview, so you'll see me there. Tara Crimmon, who runs Kobo Writing Life, Stephanie Holmes, who, seven-figure author, like she's incredible. Jennifer Hilt, my dear friend Ines Johnson, Russell Nolte, Jennifer Probst, you guys, Jennifer Probst. She's just like incredible. Lee Savino, Theodora Taylor, Quinn Ward, Jasmine Walt, Dana Pittman, like so many people, Susan Brown Moore, like you just don't want to miss it. So if you want to grab this as well and come join us on April 5th and 6th, I think all of these it's a virtual event. So I think you will get long-term access to these, but you might want to double check and read the fine print there. But it's going to be fun. So if you want to join, I do have an affiliate link as someone who participated in it. So you can grab that link down below to join for TropeCon. All right, that's it. I am just thrilled that you're here and we're going to have a good time. And I think that just having this community to lean on is going to be so good. So come join us, join the writing community, join the Discord server, join the website. If you have any questions, let us know. And yeah, I will see you for the Rough Draft Challenge, for the April Notebook Challenge. All the good things are coming. So if you're not subscribed here yet, hit that subscribe button and join our Hearties family. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.